O'Mega.
Joseph is talking about how he needs to keep his membership and practice of Golden Dawn secret because Canada has a black magic craze going on and they might want to bully me. Leslie and I have made ourselves very unpopular in certain circles because of the stand that we take about black magic. Well, we have to take this stance because magic is real and black magic is real. And there are very real people doing very, very evil things. Jeffrey Epstein got killed today. They say he committed suicide. I don't believe
Whatever.
it.
No
I don't
way
believe
he
it.
committed
Not
suicide.
for a
He
minute.
was too much of a coward to commit
He
suicide.
was the Renfield, the procurer of kids for the sort of pedophilic, murderous orgies that the elite have been up to. This is real black magic. The magic that these people are doing, taking the innocence of children, taking the lives of children to devour their life force. That is real black magic. That is real evil. And it really exists in the world. What the pedophile priests of the Catholic Church are doing, that's evil, real black magic. What all of these dark fluff people on the internet are doing, that's a whole different story. At best, they're unwitting Renfields for these other people. If they're not knowing Renfield, some of them. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't surprise me. But right. Talk about Renfield, for that Dracula, Jeffrey Epstein was a major one. And now, so that they can cover their butts, the elite who don't want to get caught up in this dragnet, he got killed. That's what's going on. They killed him so he couldn't talk. But yes, black magic exists in the world, and I apologize if we're making it difficult for some of you to be open about your membership in the Golden Dawn because of the very, very strong, clear, and decisive position that we take about black magic. But with the situation in the world, it's quite necessary. We do not want to be confused with those people, and we want people to be very aware of the problem.
You cannot protect yourself if you don't know where the enemy is. And to be fair, black magic is very dangerous, and they are enemies of humanity. They are at minimum enemies of our freedom.
They want to rule over us. They have been ruling over us for centuries. And using this kind of black magic in order to stay in power. By the way, you think the Jesuits didn't bring back the black magic from those Aztec Indians? Didn't catalog everything, don't know all of it?
Oh, and make no mistake, I have spoken with some of my anthropologist friends, and yes, there are rogue anthropologists who have helped MS-13 dig up the old Aztec human sacrifice rituals, and you know this butchering that you hear going on. Some of it are these ancient, polluted black magic rituals that are being reperformed.
Unfortunately, we have not yet, as humanity, overcome the scourge of black magic and human sacrifice and sexual and physical abuse of children and also torture of people, not only kids but adults, torture, murder, it's sexual abuse. It's just sick. I'm sorry. And I'm not accusing all Satanists and black magicians of doing these kind of things. But there are people who are doing these kind of things. And the people that consider themselves Satanists and black magicians
are just dark fluff. You know, look, we have Halloween for a reason. It's to help us let off steam and to get this negative bend and this interesting gore and blood and horror out of our systems. But we do it once a year. Once a year, you put on
and
a
it's
mask.
all symbolical and done in a spirit of reverie. Unfortunately, these people are up to something very different. Look, if I seem upset, I'm very, very upset about the death of Jeffrey Epstein. Everything was about to come out. A whole bunch of documents just came out yesterday. May God grant that it's still going to come out, because this has got to stop. The blackmail and pedophile network that has been infesting, I'll use that word specifically, infesting the government of the United States must come to an end. It must be cleaned up. It must be cleaned out. It must be rooted out by the very roots, because it has corrupted our nation. It has corrupted our country, and it has hijacked the justice system. Mm-hmm. There is momentarily still no justice in America.
Right.
Not with these people walking around free. Okay,
But-
sorry, I get a little carried away, guys.
But take hope and take heart, because the magic that we do, we are stars shining in the night. As we shine our energy and our life force out, we brighten the spaces around ourselves. And the more light there is, the fewer cockroaches there are. Isn't that fascinating?
It is, isn't it? Magic works. There is no need to go off into those perverted corners in order to do magic. And there's no need to flirt with black magic just because you think it's some phase or fad or whatever, and it's all very nice and cool, and they'll tell you it's a spirit, it's a philosophy of freedom, and it's bullshit. Because there are black magicians at the very highest levels of society that are doing their utmost to stay in power, and they don't care who and how badly they hurt in order to do it.
And I ask you this, is it going from this mindset of theirs, you want to be free to abuse children? Yes, but now that you have, you are completely locked into the slave network because they've got pictures and they will blackmail you. Do you see? They lie about the freedom because the freedom that they offer is not true freedom. It is depravity. Depravity is not freedom.
Jeff Epstein was a procurer of kids in order to blackmail people. He was at the center not only of a pedophile network, but of a blackmail network. And that's what they're not talking about on mainstream media. That's what you're not going to hear because they don't want it to come out, but it has to come out. It's time for that blackmail network to be rolled up.
And if you're looking for something...
And justice restored to America.
Right. And if you are looking for a magical calling this week, someplace to put your well-honed skills, put it on bringing more light to the issue, more exposure, more light. The more light we have on this issue of pedophilic blackmail, the better.
In our government. I mean, what came out yesterday? Former head of the Senate.
Yes.
Former governor of New Mexico. And suddenly Epstein shows up dead in his cell on suicide watch. Come on. Enough of this mafia already.
Suicide watch means 24-hour closed caption television, 23 and a half hours of daylight, and 24-hour surveillance by a white shirt, meaning a lieutenant or a sergeant. It takes approximately an hour for someone to strangle themselves. And I really think he was too much of a coward.
He was killed.
Anybody who spends their sexual...
The shadow government mafia offed him so their pedophile network didn't come out. That's what's going on.
And if you
Let's just call it what it is.
Right. And if you want to see justice, you should pray on it. You should do magic on it.
Pray on it, do magic on it. It's time to roll this
spells,
up. We got a chance for it to come out now. Let's bring it all out in the open.
Sure.
Let's throw some magic that way.
It's a boil that has needed lanced for a long time, and there's going to be some ugly stuff.
I don't know how they're going to do it now that Epstein's dead, but they've got a lot of documents already.
And a lot of film already.
That's right, and hopefully there's the investigative will to do something about it.
Just hold on to your stomach because we're going to see.
Yeah, hold on to your stomach because we're going to see things. We're going to learn things about our country, and it's not just here too. There are pictures of Prince Andrew together with one of these little girls when she was still underage. This is going through the elites at the very upper levels. Yes. And don't be surprised if it reaches into the pedophile priest network of the Catholic Church as well. If it turns out that they're all interrelated. Right. So it's not just the governments, but also the other institutions. They're all being corrupted by this filth that has to go. No, but I get so pissed off about this thing.
Well, that's a natural human reaction to seeing the next generation abused.
Yeah, thank you. Love you both too. Thank you all.
Thank you,
Greg. Thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you.
We love you all to death, and may God bless you. We love you all.
Spread your light.
Yesterday we released this brand new ebook, Was Jesus a Magician? Give you the basic background of the rediscovery of the lost books of Yahweh, how it happened, why they were repressed, why it is that the magic of Jesus was nearly destroyed and wiped from the face of the earth, and the miracle by which it survived, how we only have one precious manuscript of this ancient knowledge, and that's truly all there is left. Well, maybe in the Vatican they have it, but they're not about to give us that to fill in the little gaps that we found. So be sure to make sure you download this. You don't want to miss this. You can get it for free for now at thesecretsofjesus.com. Thesecretsofjesus.com. Also find our daily ritual live stream.
That's right. Every day, starting at precisely sunrise Pacific time, you are invited to experience first-person shooter magic you'll find nowhere else on the web.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And it's not only unique in the way that it's presented, where you're live right in the middle of the action of the ritual, but what's even cooler about it is the ritual is written in the first-person perspective of Jesus Christ. Check that out. This comes from a manuscript that archaeologists found in Egypt. And they say that it comes from very, very, very early Christians, but the Christians themselves, those early Christians, say it was actually written by Jesus and was the secret magic he taught his disciples.
Regardless of who wrote it or who practiced it, we have picked it up, dusted it off, and we are taking it for a test drive, and you are in the passenger seat for the whole thing.
You bet. And it's really quite amazing. You're going to check it out. I mean, until now, after it was discovered, this manuscript has been in the hands of scholars. This is the first time it's really in the hands of magicians and being brought out and brought back to life. So check us out every morning at sunrise.
Are you familiar with the Rosicrucian with what's his name? He's popular in the States. He's the president or the from the Golden Dawn. What's his name?
Oh.
David Griffin.
David Griffin.
David Griffin.
David Griffin.
Have David Griffin.
I saw an email yesterday that he sent out about, there's a magical war going on.
Demons of the infernal realm. All of them. There is really a magical war going on. There is a guy called David Griffin who is heading all these magicians.
David Griffin is S.L. McGregor Mather's present successor.
David Griffin.
David Griffin.
David Griffin.
David Griffin.
I'm Golden Dawn Imperator David Griffin.
David Griffin.
David Griffin.
David Griffin.
And David Griffin.
There's a magical war going on.
So there is really a magical war going on.
Alpha.
Omega.